What's up, everybody? My name is Michael, or Kiratze Online. Hopefully you guys are having a great day as usual, and I am here with some Duelyst content, finally back to getting into Duelyst again. Gonna be slowly but surely, because I pretty much have to relearn the game since the big changes through cards and rule changes and all that fun stuff. So, this is going to be a little bit of a decking around episode, but first I just sort of want to talk about getting back into Duelyst and what it's going to entail. I'm just going to say that I'm going to be probably just doing the same thing. I really enjoyed doing decking around, and I think a lot of people enjoyed just building fun decks, and I want to continue that. Hopefully the new rule changes and things like that facilitate that, and the general changes and all that fun stuff. There's a lot of fun stuff. So let's jump right into it. I will be making an Abyssian deck because one of the recent patch notes for April, I saw a card change for something. Also, it has been a very, very, very long time since I've opened up Duelyst, and there's a lot of fun little changes. Ooh, we got quite a bit of gold. I actually got a lot of gold from winning the article competition that was on the forums a while ago. For writing an article about Soul Grimoire, which was pretty sweet. Myself and another person won first place prize for that, which is pretty cool. Was not expecting that at all. But it just, it made me feel bad because I don't really make any recent content, and it's like, well, obviously people do enjoy my content, and I apologize. I do want to apologize to all my Duelyst viewers, because I know a lot of you subscribe to this channel mainly for Duelyst, and then my last couple of videos were not Duelyst, as you probably noticed, and then a few videos back, I made an update video discussing why that is, and I hope you guys will be looking forward to stuff like Battleborn and other games, because I am going to be creating a lot of Battleborn content, I can tell you that right now. It is easily already my favorite game of the year so far, and I've only played in the open and closed beta, so I'm pretty excited. It comes out full release in a couple of days. Have my Deluxe Edition pre-ordered already. I'm super pumped about that. But anyways, you guys are here for Duelyst. Let's get into it. And you'll notice that I have 0 decks on the right side. I apologize if I have the slight sniffles as well. I just got up very recently, and I always have the morning sniffles. I don't know. A lot of things wrong with me. Alright, so I have no decks because a lot of my old decks were just outdated, did not work in the new changes, and I was like, let's delete them all. Let's start fresh. I'm pretty much starting this game as a newbie again, so I apologize if the decks that I'm going to be building for these next few episodes aren't going to be super great. And then also my rank is I fall into the lowly ranks of like silver and stuff like that. So game quality is not going to be at a high competitive level, but I never do these for high competitive value anyways. I mean, I do decking around episodes to give you guys a new take on decks or a new fresh idea that you guys can tinker around with yourself, because you guys are probably better players than I am and better deck builders than I am, and then you guys can try them out yourself at a higher level. I just like to play this game at a casual level, and it's just a lot of fun doing it like that. So anyways, let's get to it. Let's make a new deck. We are using Cassiva. I think I want to use Cassiva, but I don't think I want to build a Shadow Creep deck. The reason I like Cassiva is you still get sort of a little bit of board control with that 1 extra damage, and using Lure, it makes Lure a more viable removal spell if you happen to turn spaces into Shadow Creeps, so you get that little bit of extra damage as well. So that is an option for us, because I don't really know how I would use 2 Wraithlings, because I want to I should probably backtrack into the card that I actually want to build that may be inspired to start a decking around episode for this, which is sort of a resurrection theme style deck with Duelyst. Let's just first pick her. Okay, Duelyst. Also, new art is incredibly badass. I love it. That's another big reason I want to use Cassio for this, is even though it may not fit the best, I want to use the art. Duelyst, new change makes it a 5/3 instead of a 5/2, which is actually huge for a card like this. Now it doesn't die to chromatic cold. Like, your opponent's still going to either have to take 5 health, a hit to their health, or they're going to have to trade something off on the board, or at least use another resource to get rid of it, which makes it a much better minion to sort of draw value out of your opponent, especially when you get that 0/10 provoke minion as well, which you can buff up with cards like Shadow Reflection and things like that. So I'm really liking the change, and also just it doesn't die to just a general hit, so even if it does get dispelled, you do have to put in extra resources to get rid of the main body, and you still have to, and if you don't dispel it, you still have to worry about that 0/10 provoke creature. So I really want to use this card. I've always been a huge fan of Duelyst, even pre-buff. I loved it in a lot of my decks with like Nether Summoning and things like that, because you can get a lot of value, because of the high attack, it does trade with a bunch of things even higher up, and now that it's a little tougher to kill, your opponents won't get as much value just using a really low cost drop to kill it off, without having to expend extra resources, which is nice. Now, it still may not be a great card, but it's definitely a lot more viable, especially against Vanar, because it always sucked playing Duelyst against Vanar and then just having a Chromatic Cold, and you lose you lose a Dying Wish and you lose the main body. So this is nice to have that. So I sort of want to make a mid-rangey style deck, really just because of the rule change. I feel playing just things on curve is the best way to go. I think Abyssian, from what I've been reading, Abyssian's super strong with Shadow Nova, thanks to Cassiva and the buffs to Abyssal Juggernaut, which is awesome, super awesome buff here. I love it. So I will probably get around to making a Shadow Nova deck, but it'll probably be just a control deck, probably just a variation on my full control deck, because that deck did really, really well, and I think that deck's perfect for the rule change here. So what do we want from the Abyssian side of things? I really like Grasp of Agni, just being able to have extra value, and because the game's more prominent on value and just squeezing every bit of value you can out of cards, and 2-for-1s are just that much more important because card advantage is actually a thing now. Grasp of Agony can be really, really good, and I've always loved Grasp of Agony, and it helps out a lot, especially with Cassiva's deal 1 damage to a minion. It helps in just it helps in just activating it, which is nice. So then we'll run a couple of those. I don't think we need to run the 3. I think we do need some healing. I feel like Void Pulse is still fine. Like, we're going to be probably running right out of the Undervault. So I think a couple of Void Pulses just for extra healing, some racing potential, that's fine. A couple Demonic Lures for some board control-ish stuff. Shadow Reflection, I think, because we're very likely going to have Vorpal Reaver if we're going to be running a sort of a resurrection type deal with that. So Shadow Reflection can easily be a game ender, not to mention just attaching it to Duelyst's Tombstone can make it a beatdown machine, or just attaching it to Duelist and then hitting them for 10. That is another option as well. Spectral Blade is always a good card, even better now since you're trying to squeeze stuff out of it. Vorpal Reavers and Spectral Revenants are a must. Reaper of the Nine Moons is great. I think only a couple, because I have a couple, but also, especially with the nerf, it sort of sucks having it have 1 less health. But because of its Dying Wish, resurrection themes are just much stronger when you're getting that much more value out of cards. And obviously running the 2 Nether Summoning, I don't think we'll need 3, and I think we'll only need 2 right at the interval. Actually, maybe just 1. Yeah, I think just 1, because we're playing a mid-range deck, so really only looking to play one thing. Usually only one thing per turn, just on curve. Just good cards throughout the curve, I think. I think Breath of the Unborn can be pretty good. I think, especially with the Lilith's ability, Wraithling strategies are pretty good. But Breath of the Unborn also just helps in general against like Jack's True Sight and things like that, which Abyssian has quite a problem with. So I think 1 of those is fine, because we don't really need a lot of them. Alright, so for neutrals, Bloodseer Alchemist, a 1 mana 2/1 with its effect is awesome now. It's no longer 2 mana. But I don't know if we want that. I mean, it does work pretty well with our ability. That's possible. The thing is, we want to have just, I think, mostly good statted cards, especially if we're running Nether Summoning. I think we'll probably end up running. Well, I don't know. I don't know if we want to run Keeper of the Veil. It's sort of tough to say. Azurhorn Shaman might be pretty good. This is a 2-drop to squeeze more value. Healing Mystic can help keep our guys alive. Rust Crawler can be played as just as a neutral 2-drop now since its body isn't as bad, so that works. Jaxie's still good. Got a good Dying Wish as well. Nerf to Primus Fist, that sort of sucks. Rock Pulverizer might not even be a bad idea, actually. Helps against aggressive decks, so you can put out your stronger minions. It's definitely one of the better 2-drops probably to get back with like another summoning if it happens to get snagged back or keeper. Let's see. Yeah, because you don't really have anything. I mean, Blood Siren got buffed. I mean, it's actually playable now. It's dies to just a general attack, so it's more just aggressively costed. But, it does make trades easier. It does help keep our things alive when we are trading. So that could be something. What about Consuming Rebirth? Consuming Rebirth is great with Vorpal Reaver and Duelyst. I sort of want to try it. I feel like we're getting a little too spell heavy, though. That's the problem. Yeah, it's tough to include these cards as well because of the 1 card per draw, or 1 card per turn rule, because when you're only drawing 1 card per turn, you really want that card to be useful, right? And Consuming Rebirth can be pretty dead. I feel like running it without Sarlacc or something like that is, you need a lot of targets to be able to hit with Consuming Rebirth in your deck to make it a little more viable, I think. Ritual Banishing as well. We can potentially have quite a few targets, like with Vorpal Reaver Wraithlings. Jaxie's fine with hitting with Ritual Banishing. Worst case scenario, we can use it on Duelyst or at least the Tombstone minion. Reaper, we can use it on whatever comes out if it's a weak minion. Well, I don't know. I don't really know how much we need hard removal, and especially when you're taking away your board. I think that's really, really bad for us. I think we're just going to rely on creatures mainly and like our Demonic Lure to help us get through, controlling the board. Alright, so back to 2-drops. I think Healing Mystic, it gives us a little bit of extra healing, but healing up our other guys is pretty good as well. It's tough to say, though. Also, like, it's 8 or so 2-drops, I think. 8 or 9 is, like, the new norm, from what I've seen. I wonder if even Veil Hunter would be interesting. Not only is it a good target for Shadow Reflection, it's just extra board control, which will help us transfer into the mid-game a little better. Especially combined with, like, Spectral Blade. Like, it gives us really, really good early to mid-board control while we put down our big threats. I wonder if it's worth trying that out. It has a little more reach, too, especially with Cassiva's ability. So, it could be something. It's tough to say. I definitely want Chaos Elemental, though. I think Chaos Elemental is great with the new rule change. It's just really well statted. In a mid-range deck, it's a perfect 3-drop, I think. So, definitely going to run that. Saber Spine got nerfed back to little kitty cat again. No longer is it the assassin as it used to be. Could use it for removal. It is good to get back with Nether Summoning for extra removal or more burn if we have to. Combos well with Shadow Reflection as a finisher. Depends how much we value that or if we need it all. I feel like we just need a couple of big hits with this type of deck and we'll have it. Ooh, yeah, Hailstone Golem got buffed. It's a 4/6 for 4 now. I sort of want to do that. Having a good amount of mid-game drops helps curve out a little bit better. Yeah, and it's really, really just a good statted minion to get back with Nether Summoning. Really tough to kill. Could also add a couple of Dancing Blades, or I could add Keeper of the Veil. Pretty much getting all of the stuff back with Keeper is pretty good. Chaos Elemental is great to get back. Jaxie is the worst case scenario, probably, but it's still alright. Alright, now I feel like we're running out of space. We only have 2 spots left, and I still need, like, at least 5 more 2-drops. I think we'll run a couple of Rust Crawlers. I think I want to keep the Breath. but I don't think I need the Void Pulse. I think our minions are going to be taking most of the damage for us anyways, and we do have, especially if we include like Rock Pulverizer, with the Duelyst and Rock Pulverizer, and just the threat of our minions, we have quite a bit of ways to just sort of distract our enemy, I guess, is the best way to put it. I also wonder if I need Rite of the Intervault. I really don't know how fast you really run out of cards, especially in a deck like this when we are sort of going a little bit slower, just usually playing one thing per turn. I think I might try cutting it. Could also try cutting a Spectral Blade, but I feel that's just really good. Spectral Blade is just too good not to. I could probably cut a Spectral Revenant, maybe. Maybe I can cut just some of the top end stuff. Would I rather cut a Vorpal Reaver or a Spectral Revenant? Okay, Spectral Revenant's just super good. And like getting Spectral Revenant off Nether Summoning, oof. Ooh-wee. Yeah, I think we can just cut a Spectral Revenant, I think. And I think we'll play the... I really sort of want to try Rock Pulverizer. Or maybe Veil Hunter. I don't know, trying Veil Hunter out might be interesting. Just as a way to target, like, just have some early game board control. I'm just wondering if it's worth it or not. Like, it is nice to hit with Shred Reflection as well. Like, you could probably end games pretty fast if your opponent can't answer that kind of stuff early on. Just like Veil Hunter into Shadow Reflection. Go to town. Probably not great, but it is an option. Now maybe Healing Mystic. Like, we don't have any healing. And I feel like against really aggressive decks we might need a little bit of healing because we are a fairly slow deck. I wonder if I have too many 5-drops maybe. Maybe I only want one Reaper. But like, I don't know, getting Reaper back with like all of our resurrection effects, like Reaper, Duelyst, Vorpal Reaver, those are insanely good to get. But the thing is, like, we want to maximize how the good stuff that we get with our resurrection effects. So that's why I was wondering about maybe Azurhorn Shaman's pretty good too. I don't think there's any 2-drops I don't have, right? Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, I think we'll do that. Like, I could also run like just Gloom Chaser, or I could run the Blood Siren. I don't know. I wonder how useful that is. Like, with what we have, our stuff I think is well statted enough. Well, it's very aggressively statted, that's the thing. So maybe it is worth it to run Blood Siren. Maybe worth it. Oh, I'm terrible with decisions, guys. You guys know this. You guys know this. Rip Nightstar Assassin, by the way. That sort of sucks. It's pretty much between Azurhorn Shaman, Healing Mystic, or Rock Pulverizer. And I think I'm going to go with Rock Pulverizer. Actually, no. We're going to go with Healing Mystic. It keeps us alive, but it also can heal our other stuff, which is really important. We want to just keep our guys alive to just slowly overrun and outvalue our opponent, I think. I think the healing will go a long way, too. Alternatively, I could run Primus Fist, just for extra oomph, and to let things like Jaxie trade up, and keep her the Veil. But, you know, we'll try this out. We'll call it Soulreaper Resurrection, because why not? We're using Cassiva Soulreaper, and this is a resurrection-themed deck. But it does look pretty good. I like it. We might be a little bit heavy in the 5-drops, but, you know, like I said, my early decks right now are going to suck ass, and my gameplay is probably going to suck ass as well. So I apologize ahead of time, guys, but hopefully you guys still enjoy this type of stuff, and it's good to be back. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will be back with the gameplay videos in the next video, so stay tuned for that if you want to see a couple of games with it. Nope, like I said, though, the games are going to be in the low ranks just because that's where I'm sitting right now, but it's just to give you guys a taste of the deck and just see how it draws and how it runs, and I normally like doing that with all my decks anyways, even if it is at a lower rank or an unranked or anything like that. So, yeah, here it is, you guys. There's the deck. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys have a great night, day, morning, wherever you are, and I will talk to you guys later.